Hello, students of Philosophy of Education. Welcome to week 3, in which we continue with historical review of philosophy of education, and we actually um, making a big jump from antiquity to modern times to the 18th century. In particular, we read a chapter or a book number 2 from Emile or On Education. That's the name of the book by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. In this book, Rousseau presents his view on the nature of man and, as an implication, the nature of education. The book Emile was first published in 1762. This is the same year that Rousseau published another important book of his called The Social Contract. In The Social Contract, um, Rousseau presents his political philosophy, and he offers, in general, how to establish a political community in a commercial society with all its problems. Both books, Emile and The Social Contract, served as an inspiration for reforms, political and educational reforms. We read book 2 of Emile because this book or this chapter deals with the child age that most corresponds to school years, and also because in this book he gives more general observations about the child and this particular age span. Book 1 focuses on the early physical and emotional development of the infant and the child, and book 3 that come afterwards focuses on selection of traits, still relevant for education as the whole a book, but I chose, as I said, to focus on book 2. Book 4 focuses on feelings of sentiments and sympathy of the adolescents and young men towards adult life and family life. And in book 5, Rousseau discusses the education of a female figure, Sophie, who's supposed to be Emile's wife to be. And yes, as you might guess, the previous books, including the one that we read this week, book 2, are quite gendered in language and directed towards men. Okay, what you are required to do. There are two themes. The first is titled Nature versus Society, and you will see that Rousseau outlines his philosophy of education based on what he sees as a natural condition of the child. He gives prominent space to nature in education. He's talking about nature as does everything for the best, and he calls to live according to nature and to remain in the place which nature assigns to you. What I'm asking you to do is to explain this Rousseau framework about nature and education, and to tell us what you think about it. Please address in your answer this attitude of Rousseau to nature as opposed to society, to what he's saying about society. The second theme is more open-ended, and I'm asking in this theme critique of pedagogical suggestions to select two particular suggestions of Rousseau and to critique them. For each pedagogical suggestion, please explain how it is linked to overall philosophical framework. For example, the one that you just examined in theme 1, and please also explain whether this particular pedagogical suggestion is relevant or applicable for today. You will see that throughout the text he gives those suggestions usually in command or recommendation language. For example, keep the child independence only on things, for example. Make sure to select for this theme suggestions that if happen to be that you address some in theme 1, please don't repeat in theme 2, so select other ones. And few words about the coming assignment comparing philosophers from weeks 2 to 5. It's due in a few weeks in October 10th, but I want to highlight now that in this assignment, as it titled, you need to compare two philosophers from the reading. So pay attention and a good work throughout those weeks will lead to easier work for your assignment to paper. In this assignment, you need to focus on education and make sure that you are comparing ideas of the thinkers about education. In your analysis, you can refer issues like how the philosophers perceive the notion of education, what is their position about institutionalized education, or for example, what is their position about the role of the teacher. So we will talk more about this assignment later in the course, but I wanted to highlight that early. So I hope you will enjoy reading Emil and addressing the poems in the two themes. Bye bye.